Hello everybody and welcome to Kakushigoto episode 3. That's a 3 right there. Anime review. In this episode, I'll tell you what though, before we get to that, I'm honestly way more curious. It's gonna sound pretty harsh. I'm really curious about the future stuff with her older. Like the stuff in the past is fine and everything, it's good for showing what it was all like. But I want to know what happened. Why is she on her own? What's she looking around for, you know? Did something bad happen? I'm really curious, but no. This episode itself, we had an accidental harem, which is pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny because it's sort of like a regular harem, but completely accidental. And he's older as well. That's another thing. Pretty weird. And then the first half, there was other good stuff too. I actually forgot what happened in the first half. Let me quickly check my notes. Oh yeah, they were poor, but they weren't actually poor. It was a fun episode. You know, this is an easy show to watch. I think. It's pretty damn enjoyable. Best girl is definitely the one with the top knot thing. I think she's the best one. But hey-oh, that's my opinion. Anyway, let's jump into the episode and see how it all went down and everything. Let's do this. We pick up where we left off at the end of last week's episode, which was in the future. Hime found the age boxes for, I think it was 18 through 21, or was it 19 through 22? You get what I'm saying? The older ones, and she's like, huh, that's pretty weird. And then she looks around a bit and she's like, hang on. This house, which I presume is the manga house, or the manga where the office was basically. Maybe not. No, it wouldn't be because the office was... Anyway, doesn't matter. This new house that she found the stuff in, turns out that, it's the same layout as their house back in wherever they lived, in the past. Not in the past, but you know what I mean. So I'm now thinking maybe this was like the house that she goes to now was like maybe their first house, where when the mum was alive and then the mum died and they moved, but they had the same sort of house because they then say that later on that they wanted it built a special way 7 years ago, which would make her 3, I think, at the time, from the past, or from the present is when she's older, right? So the past is when she's younger. So I guess 7 years from that, she'd be 3. So that's when they had this house built. I'm assuming that's it. I'm assuming that house she's gone to is the original house where the mum was when she was alive, but then she died and they had to move. But they have the same sort of house built. That's what I think for that. Anyway, then we go back to the past, I guess. Kakushi's meditating. Opens his eyes. Everyone's injured. There's a dude with a broken arm. There's a dude with just everyone's injured. How did that happen? Insanity. You'd be pretty shocked too if you went to work and every single person had bandages on. You'd be like, Jesus Christ, what happened? What happened to my colleagues? They get a new assistant who is really efficient at doing things. He's there for a cup of coffee, and then he gets his own series and he's off to do that. So Kakushi knows this. He's like, no, he's too efficient, and he knew it would happen. He's a genius. But then Hime's friends come to her house and be like, you don't even have 2 stories, you're poor, you know? And she's like, are we? It's pretty harsh, honestly. Then we learned the thing about the house, how it was specially built like that. Hime then did all the chores and everything herself, because she doesn't want to waste money. She didn't call the housekeeper because she thinks they're poor, so she's like, alright, I'm going to save all the money we can. She turns off the aircon and almost sweats to death. Yeah, I mean, good kid, but maybe not the brightest, you know? Is what I'm saying. Also, he said hey, we're not poor, and she's like, all right, Dad, I believe you. But no, then the next day, he's talking to all his colleagues. He doesn't quite know what to do because we make a decent amount of money, but can't tell her what I do for a living, obviously. Then he gets worried that, hang on, what if I actually do become poor? So then they renovate the office, buy a bunch of computers and begin the digital age and everything. It's pretty funny. You can get staff from all across the world. They get someone from Indonesia. Unfortunately, the towns between the countries, different sort of towns, you know? Probably need a bit more communication than just, you go build a town. Build a town? Draw a town. That to work. I think it was Indonesia. I wrote it down, yeah. Because it is an important plot point. Not really, but it's for a gag in a minute. So then he goes home and Hime's cut her finger. So he's like, right, we've got to get the housekeeper. You can cook with the housekeeper. This housekeeper, she's from Indonesia as well. So the food, again, different cultures. different food basically, and I assume it still tasted good. It didn't look bad. She made like floury potatoes. It was that's the thing, you know. When I say floury, I mean like the plant, not like the little baking ingredient. There's that. But yeah, then she got a cookbook from the 10-year-old box and everything. Good stuff. She's allowed to cook. They have their floury potatoes and other good stuff. Open up with the two of them jogging. The two of them, of course, being Kakushi and Hime. At office, he tells them he started working out basically because, that's a good thing to do. Work out, keep fit and everything, especially if you have a job where you sit around a lot. It's not a bad idea. His reasoning doesn't make too much sense. At least for me, because in my country, the parents don't get involved in sports day. Basically, in case he gets asked to participate in the sports festival at Hime's thing, 'cause apparently they do that, who knows, he's getting fit, so basically, because if he can't do it, he thinks that everyone will think, oh, he's got to be a manga artist, and he can't let that secret get out. Of course not. Aside from all the people that obviously already know, which is, there's a fair few of them. There's a lot of them, and then the best girl, she says, hey, work out by reading manga, and she explains it all, and it's she explains it in such a way that she's talking BS, but she's explaining it so confidently that you're like, yeah, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, honestly, what she's saying makes sense in theory. In practice, probably less likely to make it show any signs, Anyway, so anybody who's thinking, hey, I can get fit by reading manga, probably not going to work. I'd love to see it, It would be very impressive, that's for sure. But yeah, then they say, was it Mang School? They try to combine the word manga and muscle. It's like Mang School, which sounds like a new Five Nights at Freddy's character, to be completely honest. But after that, they have a conundrum. There's a girl they got to draw in their new manga who's aspiring to be an idol. They don't know how to do that because they're middle-aged men and they don't know anything about teen girls wanting to be idols. So, I would suggest watch an anime, watch like Love Live or something, and they'd be like, oh, I understand now, I see. Or whatever else, other series, Bang Dream. I know there's a lot of them idol shows. I've seen a few, I watch damn near anything. Anyway, so he goes home, and there's a high school girl in his house. And immediately, how did you get in my house? Get out of my house. Why are you here? She's a fan, is what she says. Or she says, fan, basically. Not accurate. Hime is actually a fan of her because she's an aspiring idol who was singing in the park and only Hime was listening to her, which that's gotta sting a little bit, but hey, whatever. She tells him all about it, and then he is like, yes, I see, this will help me greatly. However, because he's the only one that listened to her, she's like, damn, that's an attractive man right there. So then she's now got the hots for Kakushi, despite the fact she's in high school. I guess that makes sense. People always go for people older than them. Apparently, who knows about that? And not me. But then he figures he's got to make a bento for a sports festival, so he goes to a cooking club, and it sounds like he's hitting on the cooking club, cooking school, cooking teacher. Sounds like he's hitting on her, and she's not too against that idea. Then he goes to get flowers. You can see where this is going, can't you? Yeah, and then the flower girl thinks that he's hitting on her as well. So that's 3 right there. Or make that 4, because basically his suit gets sold. He gets a white suit as a replacement for weddings and that. Runs into the teacher from last week's episode. I forget which episode it was. I watched them back to back, obviously. And yeah, she thinks that he's proposing to her because he starts talking about how, man, I hope Hime doesn't feel bad that she doesn't have a mum at sports day when everyone else is going to have one. So yeah, then she runs away, and so that's 4 people now who think, or 3 that think he was into her, and then just the 4th one that's into him. Yeah, that makes sense. Then at the sports festival, everyone's there. The 2 he hit on, the teacher gets all jealous and looks like she's about to bash his skull in with a lead pipe. And then the high school girl shows up for no reason really. She just fan service, and it's like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll buy that. But yeah, then later on, after the school festival, which Hime wins, congratulations, you are the next Usain Bolt or other fast men or women. I'm not an expert on the sports. I watched the Olympics once when it was in my country, 2012. I watched it once. I mean, I watched it on the TV because I mean it was hot. I'm not gonna go outside. Are you insane? Especially not now. Especially if it was now. Feel bad for the people who were going, but that's besides the point. Anyway, yeah. Then she tells him later on. Hime's like, "Hey, I would have preferred it if it was just you. You know, my actual family." And he's like, "Oh, I went to a lot of effort to do that, and maybe should have asked before going to a lot of effort." And then there's tickles and everything, and it's a good old time. Yeah, that was the end of the episode. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm really curious, as I said, to see what's going on in the older Hime bit, like what has gone on there. Maybe she's trying to find something out. Who knows? Hopefully Kakushi's alright, because I've got this just sneaking suspicion, like the opening song and everything is a bit like sad, melancholic. So I'm like, has something bad happened? I'm honestly leading that way, and it's nervous because everything else is so like light and fluffy and all that. It would be kind of a weird juxtaposition, but the future bits have been sort of bleakish throughout, if that makes sense. They're definitely, the tone is a lot lower in the future sections than the the past bits where she's younger, which I mean, it's got me hooked, so there's that. Yeah, this week's episode, Accidental Harem. Hopefully they don't do too much with that, but I mean, they're going to do a few little gags with it, aren't they? Hopefully it's not a full-on massive plot point. Like, I don't want a four-way war to who's going to be his wife. Let's not do that. They're trying to impress Hime to see who she likes more. They might do that. I could see them doing that, actually. That doesn't seem too outside the realm of possibility. Anyway, I've rambled enough. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, take care. Subscribe and everything. I've skipped ahead a few words there. That's fine. Subscribe, like, comment. Helps me out a great ton. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care and everything. Stay safe. And bye, guys.